Numbers chapter 31, war with Midian. Numbers 31 recounts Israel's war with Midian as an act of divine judgment for leading Israel into sin. Divine judgment. Wow. The chapter details the conduct of war, the division of spoils, and purification rituals, highlighting God's justice and the seriousness of sin. How's that for a chapter on our journey through the book of Numbers, looking at obedience and rebellion? The key idea, the big theme here for Numbers 31 is God's justice addresses sin and simultaneously protects his people. Kind of the two sides of God's justice. And we definitely learn an awful lot about the character and nature of God in chapter 31. We learn that God is both merciful and just, calling his people to purity and obedience. That's huge, right? Big ideas about justice and about the character and nature of God, all in the context of war. Chapter 31, the whole chapter, it's got a big idea that is really interesting to me, that causes me to stop and chew on. And I've just never come to a really good understanding of the consequences of my pondering. Because chapter 31, the whole chapter, is detailing an army of war as a tool of God's judgment, of God's vengeance. And what does that mean? I mean, Augustine talked about a holy war, a holy army, a holy city. And Numbers 31 kind of leans into that and kind of supports the idea of a holy war and a holy army. And I just struggle with the whole implications of that. How do you confront sin in your life and community? Are you pursuing purity and justice? If we take Numbers 31 and make it personal. So let's ponder and integrate. Where do you need to address sin in your life? This was an act of divine judgment for leading Israel into sin. We should take sin seriously. How do you balance justice and mercy in your life? Are you willing to take a difficult stance for God's divine truth? Who can you support in pursuing holiness, godliness, and purity? Numbers 31, Israel's war with Midian as an act of divine judgment for leading Israel into sin. There's a lot here.